So, Ron, I think you bring up a good point about trying to hide the problems and trying to essentially just push it underneath the rug and pretend nothing is happening. I guess my question to that, you're talking one of your solutions is using some of the rooms in or some of the units in these vacant buildings to essentially establish services. How would that happen though? Is this something through eminent domain? Is this something through like an agreement or a tax incentive with those property owners? How
So,
exactly do you plan on going about with it?
the vacant units that I'm talking about are the ones within the subway system. So they're owned by the MTA. And so therefore, these are public this is public space. And the MTA is struggling to fill it with commercial units and commercial tenants in the way that they used to in the past. And it's also a site where the most pressing need, frankly, is to actually have a response to what people are going through. I think that it's we we try and push every problem we can as far away from our eyesight as possible. And the subway is so often the last place of refuge for a New Yorker. And it should not be that. It should be the public transit system. And we should actually have places where people can be taken care of and can receive those services. I'll give you an example of these. In my office, we set up a clinic to help asylum seekers. We've served over 1,000 in the last year. Vast majority of whom, by the way, are Muslim men from West Africa, many of whom also from Mauritania, about 90%. And around this time, Eric Adams put in a limit on shelter stays for 30 and 60 days for asylees in New York City. And many of us said, where do you want people to go after they hit this limit? What do you want to happen to them? And the answer was, this will make it clear that there isn't an incentive to stay in New York City, and people can reapply if they need to, but they can also learn that, we'll get the bus to get somewhere else, that kind of a thing.